Hi, today is Saturday, March the 16th, and I just want to show you a couple of examples that occurred on Friday that I tweeted about when I was looking at the chikou span on Apple and Netflix in the first 15 minutes. First 15 minutes of the day can be the hardest to trade because there's volume coming in from a number of different sources that are just orders that are going to be placed as soon as the market opens. So you're going to get a lot of erratic movement in the first 15 minutes. It's very difficult to trade it. So I look at the chikou span, and here's two examples with Apple and Netflix. You can see that both of these are 5-minute charts, and I took this screen capture in the second 5 minutes of the day. So there's two 5-minute candles. What I did with Apple, I often use this try SMI stochastic to tell me when it's a good time to enter a trade. And at this time it was telling me that it was not a good time to go long. You see this red arrow here, and the yellow stochastic line, which is the fastest moving stochastic, is turning down. And so is the green when it's the second fastest, or the mid speed. They're both turning down, so it's not a good time to buy. But we did have a green candle. It looked like after this first 5-minute red candle, we were moving up. So I took a look at the chikou span, and the chikou span right in here had support on the candles. And you remember from previous videos that the chikou span is pretty much like price. It behaves like price. In fact, it is the current price plotted 26 periods behind. So it can get support from a bank of candles like this, and that's exactly what happened. And had you gone long in the first 5 minutes, you would have been rewarded because the chikou span showed you that you had support, and Apple did continue to go up for the rest of the day. We were only up 643 at this 10-minute into the trading, but we at one point were up $11. Now on Netflix, you have a bit of a different story. Here you have the stochastic here telling you to go short, and you've got an indeterminate doji candle here in the first 5 minutes, but then you have a pretty strong short candle here in the next 5 minutes. So what do? Do you react right away and go short? I looked at the chikou span, and the chikou span was coming into the bottom of the cloud and to this blue 50 EMA. And I thought, well, I'm not going to go short here because there's a chance that we're going to get support. And that's exactly what happened. If you go back now and you look at Netflix for the rest of, for the continuing candles, we did get support, and price did turn around. Now, eventually price did go down, but it came on a subsequent test of the 50 and the bottom of the cloud. The candles exited the cloud, and then when the chikou span finally exited the cloud, that was the real confirmation that it was time to go short. I didn't go short in the second 5-minute candle because we did get support right here on the 50 EMA. So it's just a question of timing. Now this video is about the first 15 minutes, but I want to show you one other thing, and that was how the chikou is very useful for me on Caterpillar. Now here we had two candles in Caterpillar. These are daily candles, and we had these two candles that were, we finished the day outside the cloud here, and that was followed by 2 more days outside the cloud, but we were still above $89. And I've got a lot of Caterpillar stock, but I also was short the monthly 90 calls. So I wanted to know, what do I do? I'm certainly going to take off my 90 calls. So I'm certainly going to take off the 90 calls, but do I put on 90 calls for April? And I decided that I would not do that on Friday for the simple reason that the chikou span here, this is where it ended for the day, but at one point in the day when price came down to this level, that corresponded 26 periods behind of the chikou span hitting the cloud. Sorry, I overdrew that. But there was actually a time in the day when the chikou span came down. Of course, this is the daily reference for the chikou span right here. The chikou span actually came down to the cloud to correspond with this price level right here. So when I saw that happening, I felt that there was a pretty reasonable chance for a bounce in Caterpillar that day. Now, had we ended the day with the chikou span ending down here, then I would have felt good about putting on some calls to cover my stock. But that didn't happen. So at one point, the chikou span actually looked like that. And it finished the day reflecting a bounce off of the bottom of the cloud. And I am still long Caterpillar, and I am not going to cover nor sell my stock nor add puts until I see the chikou span break the surface of the cloud, and that's going to be tomorrow. So tomorrow's test of the cloud is going to happen just a little bit above where it was yesterday, which is right about here, a little bit lower than where it opened on Friday. And that's going to be the point at which I make a decision on what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to look at other time frames to see if they're weak, but by the end of the day, I'll have made a decision whether to cover my Caterpillar stock, sell the stock, which is currently showing profit, or buy puts.